We are driving into the unknown. We don't know where the next road is going to take us, but what we do know is it's going to be one heck of a ride.
I could probably use some heartbreak to get moving. Tired of the way you let me down. You fill me up with broken promises, 'cause you never keep them. I'm so sick of the way you.
After some truly spectacular hiking in the mountains, we are leaving them behind again and we are heading down to the coast.
You say that, but we've gone up and we're getting closer to the mountains.
Well, we're supposed to be going to the beach, but actually we've gone up 500 metres, currently around about 4,000 metres.
Ruby's just ticking along nicely at 70 kilometres an hour.
Just, I think the main problem up here is the state of the road, which is pretty potholy, but you don't mind because it's such a beautiful drive anyway. And I think very soon we actually will have to go downhill, and then it will be back to the warm and the beach and no doubt all the trash. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy this beautiful drive.
Whilst I focused on the roads, Willow enjoyed the breathtaking views around us.
Wondered where your dried peppers come from. Here it is.
It's crazy. Goes on and on. Look at that. All of that red brown is all dried chili peppers. Yeah, there's some looking in my window. Look at that. Crazy.
That was awesome to see. Good morning. We have been on the road for about 5 minutes and already we've got a problem for today. Willow says it's something she's never seen before, so let's give you a look, shall we? What are we looking at?
I don't know, it's like there's too much pressure, or there's a weak point in the hose and it's
Bubbled.
got a huge, oh there we go. I think it's got a split or something, but yeah, it's got a split in the hose. You can see the steam.
Yeah. So our plan is to cut the pipe and hope that we got enough slack in the tube to reconnect it and just bypass it. Hopefully we do. Otherwise it's going to be an interesting day. It's good to be back on the road, eh? We've sorted the coolant pipe for now, but it's perishing a bit, so we're probably going to replace the whole thing. As you can hear, it's a very loud road because we are trying to have a quick detour before hitting Lima and going to go check out some ruins. And I think these are some of the oldest ruins in all of the Americas, so we're kind of excited to drop by. It's not every day you drive past farmland and in the background there's giant sand dunes. Peru's kind of funky for its landscape. Enjoying being back on the road?
I'm not enjoying this road particularly. I don't know if it's just how bad the road is or whether something is actually falling off the suspension.
watched our earlier videos, and you'll understand why we always joke when we do little water crossings, because we have a terrible track record when it comes to water. Broken engines, broken gearboxes, all because of big puddles basically. But if you don't laugh about it, you'd cry, right?
At least we have 4x4.
4x4, not necessary. So we've already got into trouble before we even started, because we decided to get Steve out and get a beautiful shot of us driving in, but no Steves allowed in the park, which is a shame because it looks amazing.
Caral is situated in the super valley on the central coast of Peru. It is approximately 120 kilometers north of Lima, the capital city.
Detour here is actually to one of the oldest civilizations in the entire world, not just in the Americas, so we're going to go and check that out.
Caral is considered to be one of the oldest urban settlements in the Americas, dating all the way back to around 2600 BC.
Entonces estamos reemplazando, cambiando para que se pueda ver. Caral.
Like, I wouldn't know that that's where they did their offerings
To
God, and that's where they sacrificed.
And it is quite a political site here.
Yeah, and just some of the facts and how old it is. I mean, you could look them up, but it's cool to have a guided tour and get the information.
Telling you how like avalanches wiped out.
Yeah, and the colour of the cement they used and everything. I think it's really interesting.
Donde él explicaba la lucha de la masiva gente llegaba a asistir y estarían en todo este espacio de la plataforma del evento.
So that structure behind me is like a amphitheatre where they used to perform. They found flutes made from like condor and pelican bones, which is kind of cool. It's just massive. It's a lot bigger than we first expected. For anyone wondering how we keep our cats cool,
And then there's Amy as well. Like,
show us Amy. It's recording.
Amy knows what's up.
Oh, Amy's a very
She's a
big
pro.
fan of cool mats.
She's got a cool mat plus the fan. She's good. Oh, Lexi. You okay there, Fluffball?
She's very happy.
You okay? Very good.
So that was a bit unexpected.
Yeah, I'm a bit hard to please about ruins. I think sometimes that we saw so many in Central America and Mexico that sometimes they all just kind of blend into one, but actually that was super interesting.
Really informative, and it's a really cool location as well.
We had a really nice guide. He was really like, even though it's all in Spanish, he really took the time and explained it and showed us everything, and it was super interesting.
Yeah.
So definitely rate that one.
Yeah. This is us at the entrance for Caral, and we're about to lose our brake caliper, so gotta love Ruby sometimes, don't you? She's really determined for us not to get to Lima to enjoy a nice meal, but she will not win. What made you stop, love?
We lost our bolt. This bolt. So our whole brake caliper was flapping around, and as you can see, also hitting the inside of the wheel. So I could hear something rattly, and we checked briefly, and then I realised every time I brake it goes clunk. So the good news is I have a bolt, which I'm actually quite surprised about, because I didn't think I'd have this very specific huge bolt, but I do.
Well, we're back on the road heading towards Lima, and we are literally driving through a sandstorm right now. It's mental. Having fun.
I've never seen this much sand in my life. It's just super, super windy, so driving a shed-shaped object is a little bit precarious.
I can see Lexi's stressed out.
Lexi's pretty. It's kind of crazy, all the patterns it makes on the road, and it's just nothing.
So we bought a new bolt for the brake cylinder, and we are just outside of Lima, the capital, on the Pan American Highway. This girl really does not get enough credit for the amount of work she puts into Ruby, trying to keep her running on such a small budget. I don't know how she does it. We're out, baby. It's alright, you know. Kind of a pick and mix, throw it together street food.
My cocktail has unknowns in it.
What's going on?
New beds.
New bed?
New
What do you mean new
beds.
bed?
After 4 years of living on 1.5 inches of the same foam, we are upgrading. Let me show you the difference. Old bed, new bed.
You excited?
Oh my god, I am, because this is like ruining my life.
This is basically what cities are for us though, isn't it? Like, get used to all jobs done.
Buy stuff. Buy parts, upgrade things.
We've been fortunate enough to stay in some absolutely amazing camp spots in the wild recently, but overlanding isn't always about the beautiful camp spots. I think we kind of suck sometimes at documenting the not so interesting places, because to us they're just a stopover. But I know maybe to some people you might be curious to know what we do when there isn't a beautiful camp spot. So we're currently right in the heart of Lima, Peru's capital city, and to save some money we decided to wild camp on the street. Now, the one question we get asked so many times driving through Latin America when we go to a new country is it dangerous? Are you scared? So I'm gonna show you around our city camp spot and you can see just how dangerous Latin America is. We are parked right next to a public park in part of town called Miraflores. Now this is the fancy part of town. I mean, if you see behind me, apartment blocks with gyms at the bottom. Everyone is going for a jog. This is a jogging spot. You just have to believe me when I tell you that me and Willow were up at like 4 o'clock this morning. We did like 20,000 laps around the park, so we're feeling fit and ready to go. It's not always like this, but it is always possible to find free camp spots in cities, and that's the good thing about apps like Overlander. You can see other people's reviews of the spot. I mean, the one problem with Ruby is she does not blend in. She's not a stealth camper. So I'm not going to be saying, oh, we're stealth camping in the city, because we can be more obvious. But it's a free camp spot. We've spent 2 nights here and it's been pretty quiet. No one's really cared. We've spoken to a few locals who've come over. One guy came over this morning and said he recognised us from TikTok. So that's random. Don't get that very often over here. So yeah. We are trying to finish up today. We've got to get some more bits and bobs before heading out. So I'm going to try and be a bit better today and record, because Willow will be driving, and I'll show you a bit of Lima. What I think is really cool about most of Latin America is we've just camped in a really nice part of town and no one's bothered. No one's come to speak to us and tell us to move on. We did the same in San Jose in Costa Rica, and we had a resident come and knock on our window. It's just before Christmas, and we were like, oh no, listening to Bad Religion's Christmas album's a bad idea. They're going to tell us to move on. And they gave us a present actually, and then the next night someone came and knocked on the window, and we thought, oh, this is the knock now. We're going to be told to move on. And a guy was like French heritage, and he wanted to give us a present, so he went away and he came back with his 4x4 Jeep and gave us a load of presents as well. Now I know for sure, when I lived in England back in the day, if a camper van pulled up outside my house on my street, my curtains would be twitching. I'd be poking my head out every few minutes, be like, who are they? What are they doing? I think Willow would be the same.
I'd like to think after this I'd be nice.
Oh, now I'd be much nicer. I'd be offering them showers and food and electric, but I don't think I'd be as kind back in the day. And I don't think many people back in England would be now either. We've got such a different attitude to this type of lifestyle. We'd be gypsies and pikeys, but yeah, it's heartwarming to be so well received over here. How's the morning traffic?
Well, the only good thing is that the traffic is so bad and standstill that people can't try and kill you. So that's new, because driving here, they are insane. There is literally no laws. They have to put police on the traffic lights to try and make people obey the traffic lights.
And they ignored them, and then the police decide to pull you over. We got pulled over yesterday.
Police pulled us over and was like, oh, you can't drive after 5 o'clock with a foreign license plate. I'm like, yeah, right. Then he's like, oh, where's your international driving license? Then he tried to say it was out of date when it wasn't, and then he was like, drive slowly and let us go. We have come to the kind of non-touristy market.
The industrial zones of many different things.
Stuff, and then we've had some quite nice fried thing, and now we've got a weird drink
with quinoa.
So Mine is maca, I believe, and it's like slightly warm. And then this is
I'm not sure.
bitty.
Let's give it a go, shall we?
One.
It's a bit slimy.
Slimy.
It's
My
nice.
turn. I mean, it doesn't really taste of a lot. It's just kind of sweet.
I think they're meant to be filling, aren't they? They're like
Don't need filling after eating like a foot-long fried item.
Right, was it a success?
Big success. We managed to buy Zip, which is actually the perfect colour, and we sold it per metre, and it cost us 80p for all of the zips and top tops. So now we can catch food.
As you can imagine, with any sort of area in a capital city, it's just mental. So busy. Not really a fan, but it's so useful. Now we're in the sewing machine section. How exciting.
As we attempted to leave Lima, we were once again stopped by police for the second time in as many days.
Hola, buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Qué tal?
The officer pulled us over to caution us about our headlights. It's something we've read about frequently in Peru, and we always make sure that we have them on to avoid any problems. Whilst I spoke to the officer, one of his colleagues was walking around Ruby trying to find faults that he could fine us for. He kept telling him Ruby was muy pesado, very heavy. Thankfully, these suggestions were ignored and we were soon allowed to leave without any problems. Unfortunately, this can be quite common in Peru, and not all overlanders are as lucky as we were.
Gracias.
We had that before though, right?
Yeah.
Apparently.
They're pulling everyone over. Even people with their lights on, they're pulling everyone over.